Your name. It is usually the first thing you say when meeting someone new. But if you grew up with a name that was hard to pronounce, or is said differently from how it appears in writing, you probably have experienced many moments where your name was said incorrectly.
When we're born, our parents take time to think about, what am I going to name this child? And for a lot of us, our names become a little bit of our personality, and it becomes our identity. So when we don't take time to honor that tradition, that moment that person took to name this child, I think we're being very disrespectful. And I think we're supposed to be a place where there's respect for everyone and everyone's identity, and being able to say we all belong here. And that's why I think it's so important. Your name is something that's so valuable. It's who you are. So imagine if you go your whole life and no one says it correctly, or disregards it, or renames you, because that is your identity.
Using someone's name and saying it correctly is a skill that should be practiced.
So my name is actually pronounced Sagrario. And growing up, I heard everything from sangria to sagrario to saguaro to I'm going to call you Maggie, to I'm going to call you Sandy, to I'm not even going to say it because I'm going to butcher it, so I'm not going to call you that at all. So I've kind of heard it, every variation of it. So it's actually not that hard. So it's Sagrario. Sagrario.
Parents often say the process of choosing a name for their new bundle of joy is one filled with a tremendous amount of responsibility and is influenced by many different factors. So what's the story behind your name? Were you named after another relative, someone famous, a flower, or maybe a season?
My name is Ife, and it means love. The story of my name is my mom and dad loved me, so they wanted to name me Ife, and it's my ancestors lived in Nigeria, so and they speak the Yoruba language, and all of their names were Nigerian, so they wanted to name me after something that means love, and then found my name, and that's how I got my name.
My name is Thomas McKinney.
And what's your story?
My story is I was named after two grandfathers, Thomas Telford and William McKinney.
And how does that make you feel?
Good,
Why?
because they were good great fathers to me.
My name is split up from two different people. One of them is DT Millie that been crushed by the Twin Towers, but I know she's always watching us. And I think the other half is from my mom's dad.
My name is Luke McVeigh, and my story is when I was born, my brother and sister were thinking of calling me either Oscar or Diego, but my mom and dad didn't really like that name. So then my dad came up with the name Luke, so my mom and dad agreed on it, and my name is now Luke.
My name is Amelia, and when I was born, my mom wanted me to name me Amelia because it means heart, and she said I made everybody's heart grow.
Well, my story is that my parents would name us based on the meaning. So all four of us children had our names displayed on the living room wall with the meaning. So my name, Naomi, means pleasant one. And I was not always pleasant, but my mom would look at me and she'd kind of just point to the sign and I would know, and I'd roll my eyes at the time, but looking back, I'm very thankful because it always taught me that I should live up to my name. I should be someone that's pleasant to be around.
My name is Kaylin Barnes, and my name actually came because my mom and my dad were in the hospital, and my dad was watching a basketball game, and there was this guy that was having like a great game, like 20 points or something, and his name was Kaylin. My mom said I like that name, so they named me Kaylin.
What's your story behind your name?
My grandmother picked it for me.
My family is from the Dominican Republic, and I was named after a woman named Sagrario Diaz. And she was a young student at the university in Santo Domingo. She was an engineering student, which was very unusual for a woman in the 1970s to be studying engineering. And during this time, there was a student protest. And I'm not too sure exactly what they were protesting, but she was part of the protest. She was one of the leaders of the protest. And the president at the time sent in the military police to put an end to it. They ended up shooting into the crowd, and she was fatally killed. So my mother, when I was born, had hoped that I had some of those same qualities as Sagrario Diaz, someone who was able to stand up and fight, someone who wasn't afraid that because she was a woman that she couldn't do certain things, someone that was bold, someone that was outspoken, someone that was going to be an advocate. So she named me Sagrario.
In Italian, my name means holy, and my parents picked it because we thought that it was a good name, and it was really special because we believe in the Holy Spirit.
Mrs. Rudecindo O'Neill wanted her students to become empowered and to understand the importance of their name.
It's sometimes when people say it or spell it, it gets a little annoying because they keep saying like Kaden or Caitlin, but I've gotten used to it.
When they see your name for the first time, what are some of the mistakes that they make?
Ivy, Aoife. I don't know why.
I think it's powerful to tell a child where their name came from, whether they're named after a historical figure that did something really cool or a family member, that they want those characteristics to be displayed in them, and then when they see those characteristics, they say, I see that in you. It's powerful.
Every name has a story. Do you know yours?